Hi everyone, it's Jenny here to welcome you all to a look ahead. We begin with a look at a couple of news stories, but first a word from our sponsor.
We invite you to plan now to come embrace the fun at Bryden Farm, where the tea is always on and the coffee's not far behind. Call ahead though, you can reach us at 90290707770.
Jenny here with a look ahead at a few news stories making headlines this week. Nova Scotia taxpayers might be surprised to learn just how much money the government spends without asking the legislature first. According to the Auditor General, in the 2024 to 2025 fiscal year alone, $1.6 billion was spent outside the normal budget approval process. That's money the Premier and Cabinet can allocate without debate or a vote in the House of Assembly. Now, Premier Tim Houston's latest budget proposes $130 million in spending cuts, targeting programs like arts, culture, tourism, and some public service positions. But here's the math, that $130 million is only about 8% of the one-year off-budget spending. In other words, the cuts are tiny compared to what was spent without review. The Auditor General has repeatedly warned that this lack of oversight weakens accountability. Some critics say that if the government simply reviewed and limited off-budget spending, it could cover these cuts without affecting programs Nova Scotians care about. The numbers raise an important question: are these budget cuts truly necessary, or is the government cutting programs while billions are spent without review? Nova Scotians deserve clarity and transparency on how their money is being used. Country Air Radio News, bringing you the facts that matter.
If Premier Tim Houston cut off budget spending by just 8%, Nova Scotia could keep arts, culture, tourism, and all proposed budget cuts. Perhaps unapproved spending cuts should happen first, Mr. Premier?
Meanwhile, in Ottawa this week, Conservative MPs joined hundreds of Canadians on Parliament Hill in a public protest against the Liberal government's controversial Bill C-9, known as the Combating Hate Act. The legislation, government supporters say, is designed to strengthen protections against hate crimes and intimidation, particularly at places of worship. But critics warn the bill could seriously threaten fundamental freedoms, including free speech and the ability to openly express religious beliefs. One of the most contentious changes would remove the long-standing legal defense for good faith religious expression, a protection many faith leaders and civil liberties groups say is essential. Inside the House of Commons, Conservative MPs voted against Bill C-9, arguing that protecting Canadians from hate must never come at the cost of basic rights. Outside Parliament, they stood alongside citizens, making their opposition visible and public. For those gathered, the protest was about more than politics. It was a statement that the freedoms to debate ideas, persuade others, and practice one's faith openly remain the bedrock of a free and democratic society. And that these freedoms are worth defending.
Hi everyone. This is Michelle with a look ahead at community events from March 16th through March 22nd. Monday, March 16th, youth aged 12 to 17 can join the lighting for the theater workshop at King's Theatre in Annapolis Royal from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Pre-registration is required, and it's free. Families can explore March break at the Odell House Museum in Annapolis Royal, open 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily until Friday, with self-guided tours and family-friendly activities. In Halifax, enjoy free Alderney-Halifax ferry rides from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., running every 30 minutes, all ages welcome. Over at Ross Farm Museum, the day features woodland wonders, including nature walks at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., puppet-making sessions from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. or 2 to 4 p.m., crafts, cookie decorating, and outdoor exploration. March 17th. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day at Ross Farm Museum with shamrock cookie decorating, leather crafts, coloring activities, and a leprechaun hunt throughout the grounds from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. From home, tune in to CRTV's St. Patrick's Day program for music, stories, and festive fun. Watch for our St. Patrick's Day show at countryairradio.com. March 18th. Youth can join the Theater Sound Tech Workshop at King's Theater from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., learning hands-on theater sound techniques. At Ross Farm Museum, enjoy Tasty Treats Day, including homemade ice cream, cupcakes, hot chocolate, and creative crafts from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. March 19th. Bees and Butterflies Day at Ross Farm Museum runs 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., with milkweed planting, bee and butterfly crafts, and learning about pollinators. March 20th. Fairy Tales and Folklore Day at Ross Farm Museum, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., includes crafts and activities inspired by magical tales, along with story-based quests and clues for families. March 21st. Adults can join the Mosaic Trinket Plate Workshop at 7 Arts for Part 1 from 10 a.m. onward, planning and tiling a mosaic plate. Part 2 is March 28th. With grouting and finishing, and is scheduled for Saturday, March 28th. Sunday, March 22nd. Experience the Annapolis Guitar Quartet at King's Theater in Annapolis Royal at 3 p.m., featuring works by Baccarini, Bach, Jenkins, and more, performed by 4 virtuoso classical guitarists. That's a look ahead at community events from March 16th to 22nd. Stay active, stay creative, and enjoy all the fun your local communities have to offer. Have a wonderful March break.
Hi everyone, this is Chris with your weekly look ahead at the weather from March 16th through March 22nd, 2026. Monday, March 16th. We've got 2 weather alerts today, a yellow warning for rainfall and a special weather statement. Expect mainly cloudy skies, with rain at times heavy this afternoon. Some fog patches will develop late in the afternoon. Rainfall around 10 millimeters. Winds from the southeast at 30 km per hour, gusting to 50, increasing to 50 gusting to 70 later today. High temperature near 8 degrees Celsius, and the UV index is moderate at 4. Tonight, the rain continues at times heavy before ending late. Cloudy skies persist, with a 60% chance of showers or drizzle overnight. Another round of rain begins before morning, with a risk of a thunderstorm. Fog patches are likely. Rainfall totals could reach 10 to 20 millimeters. Winds from the south at 50 km per hour, gusting to 70. Temperatures rising to 11 degrees by morning. Tuesday, March 17th. Rain will end late in the afternoon, but clouds will stick around. There's still a small risk of a thunderstorm, and fog patches should clear during the afternoon. Expect 10 to 20 millimeters of rain. Winds shift from south at 50 km per hour, gusting to 80, to southwest at 40, gusting to 60 in the afternoon. Temperatures will fall to around 5 degrees. Tuesday night will bring cloudy periods with a low near -4 degrees. Wednesday through Sunday, March 18th to 22nd. For the second half of the week, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, with highs from -2 to 5 degrees. Nights will be mostly cloudy or clear, with lows from -4 to 0. Keep an eye out for some flurries and occasional rain showers over the weekend, especially Saturday and Sunday. Spring officially begins on Saturday, March 20th, 2026, at 11:46 a.m. In Nova Scotia it means longer days, warmer sunlight, and enjoy a walk outside, we should soon begin to hear the peepers' song. That's a look ahead at the weather and spring.
Jenny here, wishing you a happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcoming you to spring. Be sure to catch our St. Patrick's Day special on Car TV, that's on countryairradio.com on St. Patrick's Day. Sorry, this week's A Look Ahead was a day late. I'd like to tell you it's because of technical difficulties. However, Brian insists we tell you the truth, it's late because yesterday at Bryden Farm was the day they turned their pigs out on spring pasture. Brian also said to tell you the pigs are doing well and they're hoping to see some piglets in April. From all of us here at Country Air Radio and Car TV, thanks for all your support. Have a great week and please visit us at countryairradio.com.